Now, going over to the culture part of the podcast, you have Disney delay Snow White another year and will reshoot, putting the dwarves back in. Now, this is pretty controversial. The main lead actress, and some might call the ugly duckling, it was the queen in the original film, I believe, or I say film, the animated story, whatever you want to call it. It was jealous of the princess's good looks, and yet in this new one, the queen is infinitely more attractive than the Snow White. Which, again, I know logic and Disney are like oil and water. They usually don't mix, even if they try really hard. But yet another illogical part of the film. Now, a lot of people push back because Disney came out with all these images where they hired everyone but real dwarves, which I thought was pejorative in and of itself, since you're taking jobs away from people who would benefit from them. Though you could also blame that little inkling, what was that little douchebag, Peter Dinklage. He was famous for the Game of Thrones show, and he said it was very pejorative that the dwarves would be cast in the role. So, yet another example of elitism where he benefited from having that, and yet he doesn't want anyone else. So, pulling the ladder back up behind him in true elitist form, and for him, it was it's, I guess, not too bad, probably not too hard to do since the ladder is really presumably pretty short. More of a step ladder that he pulled up. The ones that fold up, pretty easy to pull up behind you, which is what he did. Now, Rachel Zegler, best known for complaining about the film. She lost about $200 million in West Side Story, which is yet another lazy remake. The original one was great. You don't need to remake everything Hollywood. Well, we know they do, actually, because they have no original ideas. And she's best known for being insufferable with every interaction she had with the media, being complaining about the intellectual property that was Snow White, the original film, even calling the prince a stalker in the one, calling the whole concept weird, basically saying, this is going to be a remake. This ain't the 1930s one. Which, again, that's almost as dumb as going to work and to your boss's face saying, yeah, I don't think you're very smart. I mean, we need a new, everything needs to change around here. I know better than you. I'm smarter than you. Like, no rational person would ever do that to their boss if they want to continue to have a job the next day. And yet, that's exactly what Rachel Zegler did in this instance. A unprudent decision, to say the least. Now, in the recent press, it looks like the new image, they have a photo where they have Rachel Zegler, which, thank God, I actually don't have picture-in-picture right now because that might hurt your eyes. But they actually have her with a bunch of dwarves, traditional dwarves, like not the ones where in the live action where they release those pictures there's one real dwarf, but everyone else is just a diverse, random amalgamation of tall people, different races, different genders. Basically nothing like the original film. And it looks like in the new artwork that they released, they will be more of the traditional seven dwarves, but now they're animated, which, if that's true, now they're going to have that bastardized version of a movie where you have part of it is animated, part of it is real live action, which, let me know in the comments, have you ever seen a great adaptation or a great example where you mix the two things together? My memory's not the best, but I can't think of one off the top of my head. Granted, I know the best movies I know or like are the ones that are in black and white. Now, nevertheless, it'll be interesting to see how much money is Disney going to lose on this. Because they were about to release it, and now they're saying, oh yeah, we're going to delay it about a year, and they're going to have to reshoot a bunch of stuff. Will Disney ever make profit on movies? They've lost about $2 billion on all these recent films that they've been making, and they don't learn their lesson. So they're going to have to now sink more money than this. So this looks like they're trying to go back to the original a little bit, which I subsequently think it'll probably be about the same. If they release the film now, it would lose a bunch of money. If they try to fix it, I don't know if you can with Rachel Zegler still in it, well, in that case, you're going to spend even more money. So the break-even point, instead of being here, then it has to make even more money to break even. At the end of the day, it's kind of a good example. You're damned if you do, damned if you don't. In terms of preserving the brand, I think they should just scrap the whole idea completely. But I know prudent business decisions are not things that Bud Light and Disney do. But it'll be interesting to see. Time shall tell. Thank you again, everyone, for taking the time to tune in. Again, we're trying to get to 4,000 subscribers by the end of November, so if you can click that button, I'd greatly appreciate it. Also, the feedback is greatly appreciated. If you can put some comments in the videos, that's how I know how to make the production better and better. And it's how I know I do need to work on decreasing my rate of speech so it's a little bit easier to understand, and how I need to work on that stuttering to make the show better and better and better. Also, liking the video may help it with the algorithm. That kind of switches it up. It's kind of mystery magic. So that might help the videos get more views and might increase the rate at which we can invest in this as well. Also, and lastly, don't forget to take the time to tell your family, tell your friends, tell your coworkers, heck, tell your enemies, tell anyone and everyone. Just stay safe, fight the good fight.